My name is Ron McLeroy, and I was in the Army. I'm 77. Dallas, Texas, born and raised in Dallas.
And your family is from there?
Yes, yes. My father, mother, and even, Alvarado, small town just outside of Dallas. Did serve in Vietnam for 1 year. We chose the Army just because of family history. Uncles, two uncles have been that way. One was an aviator, Army aviator, served in World War II. And since our dad was in the Army, we just chose the Army. Our father was an officer, and if we're going in, let's go in as an officer, if we could. The benefits of the ROTC program at school, and that tradition at Texas A&M. You could have been drafted, you could have enlisted, and we chose to go the ROTC route. Of course, you could be enlisted, and as several have done, and gone to officer candidate school and gone that route. But we like the idea of going to Texas A&M. That was more in our DNA than the Army was. I was married at the time. I just married Carol, who's my wife of 55 years, a couple days ago. And that was also tradition in those days. You went to school, you got married, and when you served. So she finished her school at North Texas, but then we immediately went to Fort Knox. Fort Knox was armor basic. Since we already had the bars, the second lieutenant bar, and we earned that by at Texas A&M. You live it. It's like an academy, if you will, from day one. You're under the gun, and then you finally get the rank and the responsibility of leadership later on. But and we went to Fort Sill, the whole gang of us, for summer camp. That was our basic. That was our in the boondocks run every morning, and now we need to be trained in our branch, and in all the branches: infantry, artillery, transportation, corps engineers, which my father was, et cetera, et cetera. Signal Corps. My brother chose Signal Corps. He was electrical engineer, but I chose armor, and the reason I did is because I had the opportunity to go to flight school. And I said, I've got to do that. We received fire, just weird tracers, wandering through. You'd see some every once in a while. We rarely got hit because they didn't want us to know where they were. They moved at night, the bad guys. They moved at night. And we were typically fighting probably the NVA. We didn't have, I guess we did. But we flew all kind of different troops. That was a neat thing. We flew Thai troops all the time. And then we flew Australians, New Zealand, our own troops. And then we flew to ARVN, the South Vietnamese. And so that was always communication. They always had an American advisor. So I didn't have to learn to speak Vietnamese. So that was the first half of my 1 year tour.
What's the second half?
All right, second half. We stood down. We were starting to stand down all the units, so that means we had to get rid of everything, pack it up and go. But that requires accountability of all your supplies, aircraft, inspections, and building big as this full of parts, and for the mechanics and that kind of stuff. I think my family was going through bloody heck at the time, because they had no idea what was going on. Where is he going, how, when, can we even get there? For me, it was almost an adventure. you always want to be on the plane that's leaving, not the one you're never like to be the one sitting in the airport. And I just found at the time it's like going to Boy Scout Jamboree or something. You had no idea, just open world. And it'd be a challenge, could be dangerous, but it was exciting. It's a little scary, but exciting. But scary only because you just didn't know. They didn't tell you anything. You just go. So, but we were good about following orders, and we had no reason not to believe they're doing the very best for us and them. So there I was with the outfit.
So you don't know probably anyone, right?
Oh, absolutely no one.
Right.
None of the flight school. Now that was our bond. And even today, Vietnam Helicopter Pilot Association is a booming association. And we probably met more in our class, 70-16, whatever our class was, and kept some relationships there, more than even the outfit that I joined. And I'll explain that as we progress. So there I was. No, not a soul.
On Veterans Day,
Yes.
who or what do you think about? As a civilian, I have, certain things, but what, for instance, do you think about on that day?
Well, initially I think of the parade downtown because I have to go down there and judge the silly thing, okay? We had, no, all the ROTC units, it's a big deal in Dallas, and they have all the high school ROTC units march, and Association of the United States, we have our campaign hats, and we go down there and judge the parade, and on 11/11, but I'm very proud. I think pride in that, and proud of all the people that participate in that thing, all the people that aren't veterans, the support of the nation. Of course, now it's a popular thing. Everybody wears the flag. Everybody supports the troops. Everybody has organizations that they're behind politically, and just volunteers, just wonderful people.